Next, join the king for a tropical entertainment event in Elvis, Aloha from Hawaii. If you're looking for the very best classic movies,
This can't miss.
the Disney Channel has searched the vaults of Hollywood to bring you the finest Tinseltown has to offer. Every Monday night, it's the best of Hollywood.
That's what makes life interesting.
Hollywood's most glittering musicals,
How delightful.
spectacular epics,
This is the day.
spine-tingling suspense,
You couldn't commit a murder if you tried for 100 years.
No, I don't believe I could.
knockout comedy,
Just plain wacky.
and holiday magic.
Sometimes, Henry, angels must rush in where fools fear to tread.
Discover something special every Monday night
Here's the news in one luscious word. Hollywood.
when the Disney Channel rolls out Hollywood's finest.
Now you're talking.
Oscar-winning films and Oscar-winning performances, all without commercial interruption.
Hooray!
Discover classic entertainment on the best of Hollywood. The Disney Channel proudly presents the first film to explore the trauma of American soldiers returning from war.
I wonder if Wilma's home. All I wanted is for people to treat me like anybody else instead of pitying me.
32.50. I used to make over $400 a month in the airport. The war is over, Derry.
I gave up the best years of my life, and what have you done? You flopped.
Winner of 7 Academy Awards, don't miss the compelling drama, The Best Years of Our Lives. From the Television Academy's new East Coast home at Walt Disney World, the Disney Channel presents the 9th Annual Television Academy Hall of Fame.
We never, ever thought we'd make it here.
Watch as the stars come out to salute the achievements of some of television's greatest.
Every day of my life, somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I grew up with you."
When Phil Donahue, John Chancellor, Bob Newhart, Dick Clark, the late Mark Goodson, Agnes Nixon, and the late Jack Webb are honored for outstanding contributions to their craft.
When you look at the Donahue Show, you are looking at the face of this country.
The world television premiere of the 9th Annual Television Academy Hall of Fame. Next, take a look at a unique concert with the king of rock and roll's 1968 comeback, Elvis, One Night with You. The Disney Channel proudly presents the first film to explore the trauma of American soldiers returning from war.
I wonder if Wilma's home. All I wanted is for people to treat me like anybody else instead of pitying me.
32.50. I used to make over $400 a month in the airport. The war is over, Derry.
I gave up the best years of my life, and what have you done? You flopped.
Winner of 7 Academy Awards, don't miss the compelling drama, The Best Years of Our Lives. America's favorite comic strip heroine is about to break free.
So bug off, Buster.
Travel up the Amazon with ace reporter, Brenda Starr.
Are you ready?
Are you crazy?
She's fearless.
Don't worry about me, boys. Shoot.
She's sassy.
Front desk, could you remove 2 bodies from the 3rd floor hall?
And she's got a great eye for fashion.
Let me find something nifty to wear.
Timothy Dalton and Brooke Shields.
How do I look?
Beautiful. The world television premiere of Brenda Starr.
Everyone's wild. Wild about Harry.
Don't get around much anymore. I have a goal to see beyond a vision with imagination. I'll get there. You like that move? I worked on it all week. It had to be you.
Everyone's wild about Harry Connick Jr., the New York Big Band Concert, tonight at 9 Eastern Pacific.
Disney Nighttime heats up your world with the best entertainment for adults. Disney Nighttime, because kids go to bed.
Enough has been written and said about Disneyland to fill a good-sized library. Nothing has quite captured the imagination, the charm, the three-dimensional fun and excitement such as Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. In building his dream, Walt surrounded himself with talented artists, engineers, and designers, and formed Imagineering, the folks who continue to transform Disney dreams into reality. I'm Marnie McPhail. Now, I met up with one of the founding fathers of Disneyland, Imagineering artist Herb Ryman. And I asked him, what is his job?
Oh, it's indescribable. I couldn't describe it at all. Of course, Walt called it Imagineering, and I suppose that's as accurate a description of it as you could. It's visual Imagineering. And I have to draw, and I have to think in terms of fantasy. You also have to think in terms of what people would want. To give you a quick little example, one day I was very frustrated. I was sitting alone with something I was trying to do, and Walt came in and looked at it, and he said, "I don't like that." And that means kill it, stop it, don't put any more time on it. And I was frustrated. I didn't like it either. But, and then Walt started to walk out of the room. And I said rather peevishly to him, I said, well, why don't you give me some idea of what you would like? Give me a clue to work with. And he turned around and he said, just do something that everybody will like. And then he walked away.
Simple as that.
And I thought, no, isn't that nice? Just do something that everybody will like. Well, I wish I could have done that all my life.
Herb Ryman's work has pleased others all his life. He began as a motion picture story illustrator and worked on such classics as David Copperfield, Tale of Two Cities, and later, Anna and the King of Siam. He joined forces with Disney in 1938 and worked on story development and as a layout artist on Pinocchio, Fantasia, and as an art director on Dumbo. He accompanied Walt Disney on a goodwill tour of South America, which resulted in the animated films Saludos Amigos and The Three Caballeros.
We're three caballeros, three gay caballeros. They say we are birds of a feather.
At the personal invitation of John Ringling North, Herb traveled with the greatest show on earth for a couple of years and rendered the glamorous and the not-so-glamorous behind the scenes of the circus. He has traveled to exotic locales the world over, transforming life, place, and time into compelling expressions of color, form, and emotion. However, even with all his worldly artistic experience, Herb was not quite prepared when Walt Disney called him into the studio one Saturday morning to discuss a new project called Disneyland.
He said, my brother Roy has to go to New York on Monday morning, and he's got to show the bankers what we're going to do. And he said, you know how bankers are. He said, they don't have any imagination. And he said, Roy has got to show them what I'm going to do. And he's got to show them all these drawings and the designs for the park. And I said, of course, naturally. Well, I want to see them. Where are they? And he said, and he pointed at me and he said, you're going to do them.
Walt and Herb spent that weekend together, which resulted in this drawing of Disneyland. It sold the $17 million project to the bankers.
What's this here?
Marty, this is the original Disneyland castle. It was built at this scale, as we built all of our models, and this is the way it looks today. But it didn't always look like this. There was a day when the part facing Fantasyland faced the front. I came in one day and I looked at it and I thought that looks quite a bit like the Neuschwanstein Castle in the Mad King Ludwig's Bavaria. And I thought I'd experiment with it, and I turned it around, and at that moment Walt was standing behind me and he said, Oh, I like that a lot better. So that's the way it got built. The castle in Florida was $17 million. And this whole Disneyland, of course, was built for less money than that when it started.
From artist rendering to scale model to construction and to the finished product, Disneyland opened exactly 1 year after the first shovel plowed into Anaheim soil.
Everything was done with tremendous enthusiasm and excitement. We worked 7 days a week. We came in on Monday morning and we worked right straight through, usually all day Sunday too. And Walt was the conductor of this symphony orchestra.
Because of deadlines during the initial design of Disneyland, Imagineering artists often had only a few hours to do their work before someone would snatch it from their easel. Many of the paintings that shape the look of the park are currently on display in the new Disney Art Gallery in Disneyland's New Orleans Square.
The development of New Orleans Square as it is today came about through a rearrangement of the structure of the plan, meaning that we have a street coming in and you don't know where you're going to turn, and you turn, and then first thing you know, you're right back where you started again. Strangely enough, took about 2 years in its evolution.
Herb was recently honored when his 1964 painting of New Orleans Square was selected as the first Disney artwork to travel to the U.S. Embassy in Paris as part of the Art and Embassies program.
I was originally called upon to name some of the nomenclature for Tom Sawyer Island. Walt came to me and he said, "Herbie, would you think of some names?" Naturally, you obviously think about Smuggler's Gulch and Robber's Cove and kind of inspiring names that little children would be excited about. And then later one day, Bill Cottrell told me, he said he and Walt rode around on the Mark Twain, and Walt had this map in front of him where these names were allocated as according to my designation, and Walt said, "Well, why should we let Herbie name all these names on the island?" He said, "Well, why can't I name these?" And Bill said, "Yes." He said, "I think you could." And so Walt renamed all these names.
What do those names on the Main Street windows mean?
Well, the names on the Main Street windows are the people to whom Walt wished to give credit, people who helped him create Disneyland. For instance, there's a wonderful name up there, is my friend Ken Anderson. He sells bait and tackle. And of course, Ken is one of the great fly fishermen in America. And my name is there with John Hench and with Peter Ellenshaw. And so we give art lessons. My work with Walt Disney fitted right in with my aims of trying to translate beauty and inspiration to people. And there's more of an extensive mission that has been accomplished by the work I've done here for Disneyland and for Walt Disney than anything I could have done as a private artist, because I would have had a very limited audience. But here at Disneyland, it's a world audience. So what better showcase could an artist have?
Next, take a look at a unique concert with the king of rock and roll's 1968 comeback, Elvis, One Night with You.
It's a Bing fling. Kind of a Bing thing.
You ever want to look me up, you know where to find me.
Playing on the Disney Channel.
Well, up to here, we're all surprised.
You'll hear Bing sing.
I'm dreaming
Famous things.
of a white Christmas.
And see Bing swing. When we present a string of Bing's best movies.
Non-fattening, too.
Get more Bing for your buck during our Bing Crosby Festival.
Some of us have it, some of us don't.
Monday, Bing's making heavenly music.
Going my way.
In an inspirational tale.
How would you like?
Going My Way, 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific.
Hello and welcome to Comedy Night on the Disney Channel. A night chock full of action with some of comedy's all-time knockouts. Featuring Jerry Crazy Legs Lewis.
Look at that! Watch that!
Jackie the Bus Driver Gleason.
You were just in love with my uniform.
W.C. the Nose Fields.
You want to make fun of the gentleman, Clifford. You'd like to have a nose like that full of nickels, wouldn't you?
And George the Cigar Burns.
Doesn't hurt me, but it hurts everybody in the room.
Thursdays open the door to full contact comedy.
Suffering sciatica.
Witness the great physical prowess of a legend. In this corner, it's W.C. Fields straight up. Then, see the sketches that started it all.
Well, this evening, Jackie Gleason introduces two brand new characters, Ralph and Alice Cramden, the honeymooners.
Let's get ready to rumble.
You'll never stop me, Alice.
Go ringside for Jackie Gleason's cavalcade of characters. Then George Burns tells it like it was.
By the time I found out I had no talent, I was too big a star to do something else.
A conversation with George Burns. Then see the power, the grace, the versatility of a true champion. With two all-new specials of Martin and Lewis, their golden age of comedy. Every Thursday night, see comedy's all-time greats in action. Only on the Disney Channel. Celebrity voice impersonator.
In 1968, after several years of making films in Hollywood, Elvis Presley returned to rock and roll performance, his style and power undiminished. As part of a television special which celebrated this comeback, Elvis appeared in an extraordinary, intimate showcase of his musical talent. An improvisational session was taped in the round before a small audience. Accompanied by two of his original band members and other friends, Elvis reminisced about his early days, talked about music, and performed the songs that created the rock and roll explosion. Only a small part of this legendary session was seen on that 1968 special. You are about to see the uncut and unedited version of that event, much of it never before seen by the public. Now here is Elvis Presley at his raw, pure, powerful best, a primal force in the history of American music.
Hey,